This week on FabLab, episode number 7, we're going to show how to make your very own Beretta 87T rubber band gun. And make sure not to wave this in public because, especially in the U.S., you may get in trouble. All this week on FabLab.
This episode of FabLab is episode 7, Rubber Band Gun. It's Thursday, June 23rd, 2011. What's up?
How you doing, Jet?
I'm doing fine. By the way, the guards don't like it when you bring in rubber band guns that are shaped like real pistols into the depot.
Oh, really?
They did not see them, but they do not like them.
Yeah, so Jet works at a government installation, and
Yeah.
there's a reason why they put these orange little stoppers on like pellet guns and things.
Yeah, but
black,
even then, they still don't really care for it.
Yeah.
They're like, no gun for you.
But this is a pretty awesome project, and if you're gonna make a rubber band gun, I know you've like messed around with them with like what are those, Connects or whatever? Didn't you make one out of Connects?
Made one out of Connects,
Yeah.
and then I remade it out of plexiglass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. But this was pretty awesome, and I would encourage you to grab the files for today's project because Jet made it look like actually
Term of endearment.
endearment.
Why did I say that? Word of advice.
Yeah.
Is what I meant to say. Yeah. Just FYI here, these files are available at the showroom for free, of course, as always. But they are... This is a beta version. It works, but sort of doesn't.
Jay sent me a link this morning that we may want to revisit this, or at least
we might revisit the rubber band gun on a later date. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to go ahead and make some on Ponoko and go ahead and get them in, and we might just do them as a project in a later date.
Okay.
Because the way I designed it, it all comes clear once you actually see it go, you know, oh, okay, I should have done it the other way. But it's there for brain sparking abilities, you know, get your brain juices flowing, all that stuff and more.
Now, not knowing too much about this, but Jacob essentially does these projects, especially something like this, like blind, like because you don't know how, like for the T-Rex that we did, was it last week we did the T-Rex? I think, yeah.
Well, the T-Rex was halfway easy just because all I had to do was make sure the thickness
of the
material was
but we still didn't, like, you forgot to put one thing in there, and we didn't know if it was going to work. Like, it's kind of hard when you don't know it.
And just as a word of advice, or why did I say that? The T-Rex, I found out. This user on Thingiverse might have actually done it, but T-Rex was on epilog.com. They have their sample club thing where you can get free files.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe he originally did it and he said, I pulled out some old files. I'm just throwing that out there because I don't want nobody being like, no, Epilog's like, hey, this is our stuff. So Epilog, you know, laser or what, epilog.com, whatever it is. Yeah, they had that available for a kit thing, and that's where the files are from. So without further ado, rubber band gun.
Yeah.
So the materials for this project is black ABS plastic. It's just what I picked so that it would look like a handgun. There it is on Ponoko's website. This actually, I cut out a bunch of extra pieces too. Just because, as you can see, no you can't, just kidding. Some of these are actually relatively thin in places, as you can see. So I was scared those were going to break, and then that'd be kind of bad. So I made a bunch of these, just because I had extra space. I actually got 2 extras of these.
So this is the same way, kind of like with the, because, you know, I don't see these come in, like the T-Rex, like these things are printed on a sheet. Cut on
laser
a sheet.
cut.
And do you get the sheet? Or
yes, the whole sheet. Nothing but the sheet. And then this is, you got to attach the spring to there.
And I'm assuming that they have the springs on Ponoko as well?
No.
Okay. So
the spring that I required for this is I got off of McMaster.com. It's just a little parts dealer, parts surplus store that they have every industrial parts and stuff. and I just got these little springs off of there. You can really find any kind of spring. Possibly a spring on a mechanical pencil might work. But the cool thing about the revisit that we're going to do, hopefully very soon, possibly next month, is what I'm picturing. The next couple shows or something, because we're going on like a one show break because I'm going out of town.
So next week, just while we're on this,
we'll just have some like reruns or something.
Yeah, on the
but
same.
The cool thing about the revisit is that it actually just uses a rubber band as the spring mechanism.
Oh.
So you use super glue to glue it all together and rubber band to... It's really cool. But on with the gun. So out of the magic of the interwebs, I have been playing around with this little app for my phone. And it actually... Yes, this is actually my phone. Okay. This is really dark. Okay, there we go. This is the gun, the rubber band gun, and it actually, just as a size comparison for your hand. Nick's got some pictures over there on Imager that that show a little bit more detailed of the parts, how they look separated. This is actually shows you. Oh gosh.
Oh no.
As I fumble around, this actually shows you the spring mechanism. You can see how it actually moves. But yeah. So I think Nick's got that up. Yeah. There's all the parts. These are the parts for about 2.5 guns, or maybe a whole gun, but not really. They as you can see, there's a bunch of the trigger pieces, and this is one of the ones put together. The hardware mounting thing, I kind of had a brain fart. I was going to do it with M4 hardware with standoffs in the middle, like spacers, threaded spacers, but then I was like, oh, I got to like space off some other stuff, so I ended up having to scratch that and use M3 hardware with nuts and bolts and washers and junk. So it was hard to find a lot of the right hardware to put it together, but I figured it out. It uses a stepping little thing where when you pull the trigger, it steps the rubber bands up one step at a time, just by pushing them up one. Huh. But the problem with the way I designed it is I designed the steps too shallow. So the rubber band, you got to get a really small, thin rubber band for it to work halfway right with the way I got it designed now. But it kind of, if you get a big rubber band, it kind of rolls off the top when you pull the trigger, which, I mean, it was whatever. But it works, but not really. So that is the word of advice. Is this project is more of a strike a bubble in your brain noggin thing, more than download the files and make one without any kind of modification to them at all. Still, hey, go in there, look at the files. I got them all laid out so you can see how we did some custom engraving on there and actually put like a little pistol grip, pattern, and with the FabLab logo, and I even put FabLab USA Beretta 87T rubber band gun, and a couple other little features. So it looks pretty cool. I showed it at some guys at work and they liked it. So, but let's see what else. Oh yeah, loading it right. We got to actually show the thing. So if I come up in here somewhere, there it is. So to load it, it actually has this middle section here, and the way I designed it, which would work out really well if you had smaller rubber bands than this, but when you load the rubber band, you actually cannot see it.
I like that.
So you could have this thing chock full of like 9 rubber bands, And as you can see on the half cutaway model, that is what you would have inside. And to fire it, all you do is just, well, that kind of prematurely fired there. But but yeah, what I ended up doing was I put a little rubber band, sort of like this, and this helped with the issue of it traveling too much. So I just got the rubber band wrapped around the handle there. And what that does is it doesn't let it travel as far. And then get another rubber band out and load it. Basically what happens is then when you pull the trigger, it doesn't let it come up as much, not pulling the trigger all the way up and then letting it fly forward, and then you can actually shoot it with a little trigger pull.
Awesome.
So
that's
works out pretty cool because mainly you can't see the rubber bands from the outside. That's what I was really trying to strive for, and that's what kind of made it a lot more difficult than what it originally should be. And the next one will be substantially less complicated because I have a way of tending to make things complicated, very complicated. So that's pretty much. Shoot 'em, Nick, shoot 'em. Anybody ever seen that show?
It looks really
The Swamp People or whatever it's called.
Shoot
'em, Nick, shoot 'em. It's like shoot 'em right between the eyes.
I don't know, I just like the detail on this. Is
Yeah.
cool.
But and even the bolts kind of give it a nice little thing.
I like that too. Yeah.
Even though that doesn't really have bolts there at all. But I think it's cool looking. I enjoy it.
Sweet.
This thing beeth a what is that? What did I say? Like 3 out of 5 blabs, I think.
Yeah, it was 3 out of 5 blabs.
3 out of 5 blabs because it's it's sort of hard, but not really. I mean, it takes a little bit of brainage to put it all together because you got to think really hard to not mess up 15 times in a row.
One more thing I wanted to mention. I always forget to say this, that FabLab is posted Fridays, because we do the show on Thursdays. It's posted Friday mornings before 7 Central Time, which the time doesn't matter. If you go in like there after the morning time, it should be there. And that's posted on our website as well as on Ponoko. And what you have to do on Ponoko's blog is just look for the latest post that has to do with FabLab, and that's in there. Because to simplify things, we don't do 2 posts.
We just edit the post for this show and put in the YouTube video.
And I don't know if I don't think we have done a FabLab since FabLab's video version has been in the iTunes store. But now you can download FabLab in iTunes to your iOS devices, and also on our website. If you have an Android device, you can watch on there, or you can download for later use as well. So, pretty awesome.
Good deal.
Alrighty. Well, I guess until next week, I'm Nick Jones.
And you can check out Nick
I forgot about that.
on Facebook, or Facebook, Twitter at That Nick Jones.
Yes.
And his website, nickjones.me. And you can also check me out, freaking huge, on Twitter, and jacob.roberts.me.
Right.
So, like Nick said,
I'm Nick Jones.
I'm Jacob Roberts.
It's been another episode of FabLab.
So, peace in the Middle East, guys.